So friends, the month of April started with Donald Trump being arraigned in a courtroom in New York on 34 felony counts. And the month ended with Trump standing trial for sexual assault and defamation in a civil suit brought against him by Carroll. Friends, justice is on the move. And justice matters. Here is a short recap of the legal stories for the month that was April 2023. So friends, we're going to have a lot to talk about as we move from the investigative phase into a new phase, the Trump trials. So friends, the justice snowball is gathering mass, gathering speed, gathering momentum. While Donald Trump is being prosecuted in New York, we also need to keep our eye on the classified documents crimes down at Mar-a-Lago, because there's been a new development on that front. So friends, one of the main questions about defendant Donald Trump's first court appearance is this: will the judge tell Donald Trump, in substance, to shut up? Will he issue a gag order? Well, friends, defendant Donald Trump, indicted on 34 felony counts in New York, makes his first court appearance. So friends, defendant Donald Trump says he had a right to obstruct justice, and he reveals his motive for doing so. No, you can't make this stuff up. So friends, Republican Representative Jim Jordan, who himself defied a congressional subpoena, is now issuing congressional subpoenas in an attempt to interfere in the New York State prosecution of Donald Trump. So friends, it looks like it's time for another installment of the ethical lapses of Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas. So friends, Donald Trump's reckless, dangerous, incendiary rhetoric continues unabated. How about somebody orders him to stop? So friends, let's take on 3 brief updates of stories involving defendant Donald Trump. And these stories prompt me to wonder, does Donald Trump ever grow weary of losing? So friends, New York District Attorney Alvin Bragg just took off the gloves, but not to fight Donald Trump in his criminal case, rather to fight Jim Jordan, who's trying to obstruct Donald Trump's criminal case. So friends, Republican Representative Jim Jordan is taking his clown show on the road, heading up to New York City to hold hearings in his ongoing attempts to interfere in New York District Attorney Alvin Bragg's prosecution of defendant Donald Trump. So friends, once again, defendant Donald Trump had to make the trip from Florida to New York, but this time it wasn't for his criminal case, but instead it was for his civil fraud case. Friends, welcome to another installment of the ever-expanding criminal investigations of Donald J. Trump. So friends, there's no two ways about it. We have a crisis at the Supreme Court. So friends, the trial of Dominion Voting Systems versus Fox News just kicked off, and already things are looking pretty rough for Fox. So friends, at long last, on April 25th, Donald Trump is being taken to trial by Carroll. So friends, Fox News has settled the Dominion Voting Systems defamation lawsuit for more than $750 million. Does this settlement represent justice? So friends, with the huge settlement in the Dominion defamation case, Fox paying out more than $750 million, Fox's troubles have just begun. So friends, a Trump-appointed federal judge in New York just sided with Jim Jordan over New York District Attorney Alvin Bragg. The judge ruled that Mark Pomerantz, former prosecutor in the New York District Attorney's Office, Mark Pomerantz must comply with a congressional subpoena Jim Jordan issued to have Pomerantz testify about the New York State criminal investigation of Donald Trump. Well, friends, I don't know if the devil went down to Georgia, but based on a recent court filing by Fulton County, Georgia District Attorney Fani Willis, it sure looks like some shady defense attorneys may have gone down to Georgia. So friends, former New York prosecutor Mark Pomerantz, who investigated some of Donald Trump's New York State crimes, will testify to Jim Jordan's House Judiciary Committee. Who's ready to see Pomerantz verbally tap dance all over Jim Jordan's head? So friends, Republican Representative Jim Jordan, who criminally defied a congressional subpoena, has been issuing congressional subpoenas demanding that witnesses come before the House Judiciary Committee to testify. Well, you know, I have a suggestion as to what witnesses might want to include in their opening remarks when they are subpoenaed by Jim Jordan to testify. So friends, with Tucker Carlson being fired from the Fox network, and with Georgia District Attorney Fani Willis announcing that indictments are expected in July or August, it looks like both truth and justice are trending. So friends, let's take on two stories involving the Trump trials. The first, his civil case that is in trial presently in New York, that is the E. Jean Carroll case. And the second, the criminal prosecution that has been brought against him by New York District Attorney Alvin Bragg. Friends, historic day in America. Historically bad for Donald Trump because his own vice president, Mike Pence, just testified against him in the federal grand jury. So friends, based on some recent reporting, one thing is crystal clear. Donald Trump remains an insurrectionist. So friends, as we await a verdict in the Proud Boys seditious conspiracy trial, let's talk about some of the arguments their defense attorneys made to the jury. So friends, on this rainy Sunday afternoon in Washington, D.C., let's do a quick recap of the many cases against Donald Trump that will, in my opinion, put an end to his political career and will very likely put an end to his freedom. Let's talk about that, because justice matters.
It's for sure. Justice matters. Justice matters. Justice matters, matters.